The Cal Poly Health Center says that they think a student on campus has chicken pox. That student is no longer on campus and has gone home since. Chicken pox is very contagious and has a 2-week incubation period.
Broadcasting from Studio 300 on Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Mustang News.
Good afternoon, I'm Lisa Diaz.
And I'm David Aguilar. You're watching our weekly broadcast of Mustang News. Thank you for joining us.
More than 100 participants and their laptops will fill Bonderson Engineering Project Center on Saturday, February 8th. Cal Poly Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship and the Creative Media Development is hosting a design and development hackathon. Students will team up to create an app, website, or web app that would make everyday life at Cal Poly and in the community easier. Coordinator Lorraine Donegan says participants will get tips from previous winners, student mentors, and sponsors.
Professionals, like from Rosetta, there'll be a couple engineers and a couple creatives. And that will go from 8 until 8, basically, 12 hours.
After the 12 hours, students will pitch their projects to a panel of expert judges for feedback and prizes. Participant spots are sold out, but you may register to watch the final pitches Saturday evening.
Cal Poly graduates shared their stories about creating careers out of their passions. The Cal Poly Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship held its third forum of the year in the PAC on Monday night. The forum was split into 2 sections. One section showcased student enterprises and the other was a panel discussion. The forums focus on different innovative topics. According to organizer Chelsea Brown, anywhere from 175 to 200 people come to the forums.
So really it's not just about the students, it's about bringing the students into the community in a way that they never have, right?
CIE puts on other events like the elevator pitch competition and sponsors programs like the Hot House in downtown San Luis Obispo. The next entrepreneurship forum is on March 3rd.
A renowned poet in the spoken word community graced the mic last night at another type of groove.
I am this system, systematically set to desensitize your senseless activities surround your society.
Another type of groove, a place where the mic is open to students to perform their own poems, songs, comedy, or any type of artistic expression, happens every first Wednesday of the month. Spoken word poet Prentice Powell was the featured poet at ATOG's first event of the quarter. He speaks of racial and social issues in his poetry as well as his own personal experiences as a father and a black male. This was Powell's 5th time performing at ATOG, and he says he looks forward to coming back.
For people who may have no clue what poetry is or who I am or what spoken word is and just simply are speaking from the heart on how they feel, whether they liked it, whether they didn't understand something. And I feel that Cal Poly, I feel ATOG, I feel the anthem definitely gives that to us poets. You know, it makes us want to come back. We want to come back. I know I want to come back.
If you're compelled to let your voice be heard, you can do so at ATOG's next event on the first Wednesday in March. The show begins at 7:30 p.m. in Shumash Auditorium and admission is free.
Greeks are still trying to agree on a new party policy with the university. And while Greeks may be under fire about their party record, we're taking a look at their academic records. According to the Cal Poly Student Life and Leadership Rankings from spring 2013, all Panhellenic sororities average GPAs above the GPA for Cal Poly women. 10 out of 17 fraternities averaged higher GPAs in the Cal Poly all-men's GPA.
I think a lot of people join a sorority fraternity because they want to take a leadership position. If we're doing above the average woman, I think then that means that we're definitely utilizing our resources and definitely promoting good scholarship.
Students involved in Greek life say fun incentives help keep their grades up. They also say because they have to manage their time between school, work, and Greek events, it helps them prepare for their future in the workforce.
Cal Poly is taking steps to make students more culturally aware. This comes after a Native American-themed party sparked controversy on campus during fall quarter. Alexis Chikuti looks into the university's plans.
Cal Poly currently requires students to take at least one class that meets the United States Cultural Pluralism requirement, better known as the USCP requirement. Although students are currently required to take one USCP course while enrolled at Cal Poly, some faculty members don't think this is enough. The faculty's goal is to raise greater awareness for different issues like cultural, gender, and race.
And to have students really get challenged to understand that their world is not the only world, or their experience is not the only experience.
Cal Poly is trying to make the USCP classes available to students sooner. By doing so, Cal Poly is hoping to decrease instances such as the Navajo Party.
Concept that students can connect across difference is amazing. They're making personal connections, they're sharing from their own backgrounds. It's really shown intergroup dialogue.
The university wants to raise students' overall cultural awareness earlier on in their education. There are currently around 80 USCP classes offered at Cal Poly. These classes range from 100 level to 300 level classes and are offered in a variety of different subjects. Alexis Chakuti, Mustang News.
Students should talk to their academic advisor for an up-to-date list of USCP course offerings for each quarter. University police arrested 14 people at the Steve Aoki concert Friday night. The concert was in the recreation center on campus. Police Chief George Hughes says 6 of those arrested were Cal Poly students. 13 of the arrests were for disorderly conduct, being drunk in public, and being under the influence of alcohol or drugs. One person was arrested for drug possession. Hughes says that was not a Cal Poly student. 6 people, 5 of them from Cal Poly, were taken to the emergency room. All but one hospitalization was for over-intoxication.
After a Cal Poly faculty member was recently involved in a bicycle accident, landing him in the hospital, that got us thinking about bike safety on campus. Cal Poly's campus has a large population of students and professors who use bikes as a way to get from class and home. Drivers behind handlebars and steering wheels alike face many distractions on Cal Poly's campus. It's those distractions, speed, and lack of proper equipment that are among some of the more common reasons bike accidents happen.
Calendar year, so January 1st, 2013 to December 31st, we had 13 incidents of bicycle accidents on campus. 2 of those were bicycle versus vehicles. In both those, the cyclist was at fault, either not having the proper equipment at night or not following the rules of the road.
Even though accidents involving cars and bicycles are not common on Cal Poly's campus, bicycles need to make sure to abide by the same traffic guidelines as cars so that incident numbers remain low. If an accident does occur on campus, students should call the University Police Department to make a report. Coming up, we'll show you a new way to make healthier eating decisions thanks to a student-created nutritional calculator.
And we'll tell you which school is getting a vaccine that is not yet approved in the United States.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Live with a human for a while, and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
You're on your way to meet up with friends, but you can't seem to get anywhere quickly. You don't want your friends to be annoyed, so you text. You're on your way. Five seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting while driving. Make sure you get where you're going.
The Cal Poly Health Center says that they think a student on campus has chickenpox. That student is no longer on campus and has gone home. Since chickenpox is very contagious and has a 2-week incubation period, the health center cannot declare this episode over until February 14th.
However, if there is one case found between now and Valentine's Day, we could have chickenpox here until the end of the year.
Symptoms of chickenpox include headache, fever, and itchy blisters. If you feel you may have chickenpox, call the health center and schedule an appointment immediately. Dr. Harris says that one chickenpox shot is not enough for complete immunity and recommends that students also receive a second booster shot. The chickenpox vaccine is available at local pharmacies and at the SLO County Public Health Department. Students at UC Santa Barbara are now receiving a vaccine that has not been approved in the United States after a meningitis outbreak. The FDA approved the use of meningitis B vaccine at UCSB, which is currently available for use in Europe and Canada, but not in the U.S. There have been 4 cases of type B meningitis at UCSB in the past few months, one resulting in the amputation of a student's foot. The vaccine will be available to UCSB students in late February.
You may see some changes next time you visit your favorite bar due to a new California law. Assembly Bill 1252 makes changes to California's retail food code. The new law bans culinary workers from touching certain foods with their bare hands. This includes bartenders who must wear gloves or use utensils to make their drinks. They are not allowed to touch anything that goes straight into the glass, including ice. Local bartenders we spoke to say the law has been a hassle to follow. There's a new feature on a campus dining website that might be the solution to avoiding the freshman 15. Christina Favuzzi reports from the Mustang newsroom.
Have you ever wondered how healthy the food is that you're eating on campus? Now students are able to add it up using Campus Dining's new nutritional calculator.
We really wanted a way for the students to be able to interact with something and be able to make healthy choices in the easiest way for them possible.
Campus Dining launched their new nutritional calculator last week. Coates says many universities have implemented commercialized programs, but at Cal Poly, it's turned into a learn-by-doing experience.
We were lucky enough to have some really amazing students actually start it from scratch.
Computer science junior Lewis Quire developed the calculator.
When you actually get out there and work with real data and actually interact with users of software, then you really start to kind of appreciate the work that goes into that kind of stuff.
Dietetic intern Erin Heinreich worked with students and got their feedback on the calculator before it launched.
I think it's really important for students who are eating on campus every day, especially the freshmen and the meal locations, that they're more knowledgeable about all the foods that they're eating. And now it's easier for students who aren't nutrition majors or don't know much about food to get access to information a lot easier.
Here's how it works.
With this website, we can filter it by location, or so we can go to VG's. And we have all the menu locations and all their data. And then we can filter it by nutrients or dietary preference. So if we click vegetarian, it comes up with everything that's just vegetarian.
You can access the nutrition calculator by going to the Campus Dining website. That's calpolydining.com. And you can click on the nutrition tab. There you'll find a link to the nutrition calculator. In the newsroom, Christina Favuzzi, Mustang News.
Thank you for that report, Christina. The calculator has nutritional information for all campus dining locations, including the franchises like Subway and Einstein's Bagels.
2 Cal Poly students have started a new business here on the Central Coast, but it's not just to make a few bucks. Eric Frizzy and Jesse Kinsel are ROTC students that started Summit Outdoor Supply, a business that makes bracelets out of a paracord. They aren't normal bracelets, though. These bracelets contain 12 items necessary for survival. Things like matches, fishing line, and antiseptic. And not only are they giving people survival tools that can be taken everywhere, they're also giving back. A portion of all their profits go to people who have served in the military. Frizzy got the idea when he went to a convenience store to buy a lottery ticket. The clerk saw his business card at the counter.
He proceeded to tell me the story about how he was lost in the deserts of Iran, and if he had had a product that had everything he needed to survive on his wrist, it would have made everything a lot easier for him. Thinking about that, I went back to my truck and scratched off the lottery ticket, winning $500 on a $5 scratcher. I drove home that weekend, and early in the morning on Sunday, took my iPhone out and wrote a couple ideas what we could create, and that's how the Barkley series was produced.
You can buy the Barkley Series bracelets at summitoutdoorsupply.com. To hear more from Frizzy about his company and how it's helping people in the community, go to mustangnews.net.
The ASI Club pool started off with $115,000 at the beginning of this year, and now it's empty. $61,000 is set aside for club sports, while $54,000 is used for the general Cal Poly clubs. Clubs can receive up to $1,500 from the pool for events, but in order to receive the money, they have to apply.
Clubs get frustrated because we actually had to turn away clubs after week 6 of fall quarter saying, sorry, we don't have any money. And then now they have to come back to us and we're like, oh yeah, we have money.
This year, ASI pulled more than $24,000 from their reserve for club funding. This is the largest amount that they have used from that reserve account, and it had to be approved by the ASI Board of Directors. The board granted them an additional $5,000 for the general club funding pool.
The Robert E. Kennedy Library. All CSU schools must now enforce the all CSU schools must now enforce the open membership policy for all leadership and membership positions when joining a club. One Cal Poly club is feeling the effects of this new enforcement. Nate Honeycutt, president of the Cal Poly College Republicans, says that members are no longer required to be Republican, and that worries him because there could be a club takeover with different views and different objectives.
We have local community members who donate money to our club so we can pursue these objectives, and if we can't protect that, then really what's the purpose of our club?
Former CSU Chancellor Reed mandated the policy be enforced, and Nate has been working with student government to possibly either remove the policy or come up with a compromise that would make some clubs exempt.
All right, coming up, we'll tell you which students have committed to playing football here at Cal Poly next season.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this. For his sake.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Alrighty, welcome back. So it's raining today.
Yeah, second rainy day all year.
Really nice having that rain out there. We have Katie joining us live here in the studio. Hey, Katie, is that rain going to continue through the weekend?
Well, you know, David, it is going to continue. We're going to see rain for the rest of today, actually. We're going to see rain all day. It's going to drop to about 60% this evening. It's going to be cloudy with some light winds, about 5 to 10 miles per hour tonight. And we're going to see clear weather moving into the weekend starting on Saturday. We might see a little bit more rain. We're going to go ahead and go to your weather map now. We're going to see a high of 56 in Paso Robles today. Moving down to Atascadero, it's going to be 54. 58 in San Luis Obispo, 54 in Los Osos. Moving down the coast, we're going to hit 55 and 56 around Arroyo Grande and Napomo, 57 in Santa Maria. Going to your 5-day forecast today, again, we're going to see a high of 58, low of 46. Moving into tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit cloudy, no rain, but it's going to be a high of 64, low of 47. Moving into Saturday, we're going to see chances of more showers. It's going to be a high of 65, low of 50. Going into Sunday, we're going to have some more clouds, high of 68, starting to warm up a little bit. Low of 52, and some chances of showers again on Monday with a high of 69. That's your weather for this week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you for that. And we'll be right back.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
You got plans?
You bet. $50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it. Excuse me.
What's going on?
Dinner. Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates? Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
All right, welcome back.
We have Eden Elisage here in the studio, and she's here to give us our sports update for the week. I hear it's pretty exciting. We're beefing up our defense for Cal Poly football next season.
Yes, we are. And the NCAA football regular season period began yesterday. And Cal Poly now has 14 new faces that you might see on the field next fall. Yesterday's members of the Mustang football family gathered at Charlie's Place, just off Cal Poly's campus, to announce the signing of 11 high school players, 1 community college transfer, and a pair of transfers from 4-year schools. 6-year Mustang head coach Tim Walsh delivered the announcement, introducing Cal Poly's new talented players, but insists that his job is far from over.
Are we still looking? Yeah, we are. We're looking for certain positions in certain places, and as much as I keep a couple for walk-ons, I also keep a couple for 4-year transfers. And I think we've had, Deontay's, Dominique Johnson's, and the guys that have transferred from 4 universities have been pretty good players for us.
The class of recruits includes 5 linemen, 3 linebackers, 3 defensive backs, 2 running backs, and 1 quarterback. The signing period for football ends April 1st. So a suspect in the November shooting of a former Cal Poly football player and current student has been identified. According to the San Luis Obispo Tribune, the SLO District Attorney's Office charged Brian Thomas Gonzalez with 4 felony charges in connection with the shooting of former Cal Poly football player and current student Jeffrey Hyde. Gonzalez was charged as an accomplice to the crime, and SLO PD is still in the process of contacting him, and they believe he's not currently in San Luis Obispo. Police are looking for the alleged shooter as the investigation surrounding the incident is still ongoing. The Cal Poly men's basketball team took on rival UC Irvine on Saturday. The team was up by as many as 6 points in the first, however, lost the lead before half and was never able to regain it back. The final score was 64-50. The Mustangs also played UC Davis this week. The team played them at home Thursday night and lost that game as well with a final score of 62-58. The Mustangs are away this week, traveling to Honolulu to play the University of Hawaii Saturday at 9 p.m. It is the first for round 2 of the Big West Conference games. The women's basketball team is gearing up to face Hawaii at home this Saturday. The Mustangs are coming off a successful road trip game and are still looking to stay at the top of the conference. Molly Schimler led Cal Poly in both games, averaging 28.5 points per game. Schlemmer scored 31 in the team's win over UC Irvine and 26 against UC Davis. Whether Schimler continues on her roll or guards Irvin or Elgato leads the team against the Rainbow Wahine. It is up to the air, according to the head coach.
Flip the coin. It really is all about strategy. If they double team Molly, then the guards will have more points. If they don't double team Molly, Molly's going to go to work. Yeah. So last time we played Hawaii, we saw a ton of double teams for Molly.
Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. at Mott Athletic Center. 3 major leaguers are coming back to home at Baggett Stadium this weekend, and you can catch them in action. Cal Poly Baseball is holding its annual alumni game Saturday at 1 p.m. Alumni and Major League Baseball players Bud Norris, Logan Schaefer, and Brent Morrill are expected to attend. Some recent Mustang grads are also making their journey back home to compete in this preseason exhibition. The Mustangs begin their regular season next weekend, February 14th, against Kansas State in a 3-game home opener. Games start at 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday and 1 o'clock on Sunday. And hundreds of dancers are headed to the Cal Poly campus this weekend. Up next, we'll preview the Mustang Ball.
can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything,
It is I, Cruz Zinkerbell. Okay, time for cake.
it's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Guru. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back.
We have Olivia DeGennaro joining us here in the studio with our Pollywood Minute. Olivia, what's going on in the entertainment world out there?
Thanks, David and Lisa. So let's get right into it. Well, if you are looking to meet new people on campus or even find a last-minute Valentine, you are in luck. ASI is hosting the first ever Meet a Mustang Mixer. The event will be held in San Luis Lounge in the UU on Friday, February 7th. That's this Friday, and it's going to be run kind of like speed dating. Students will be grouped into pairs and then given an icebreaker to discuss for about 5 minutes, and then they'll switch. Cal Poly ID is required for admission, so it sounds like a fun event if you want to meet some new friends. Well, this month's Art After Dark is this Friday from 6 to 9. Over 20 galleries and art venues will feature established and emerging local artists and possibly even nationally and internationally acclaimed artists. Some of the featured artists include Jennifer Sting, Eckmeyer, Jerry Scott, and Christine Cortese. Among the 27 venues include Linnea's Cafe, Mama Ganache Artists and Chocolates, and of course Cal Poly, or the Performing Arts Center on Cal Poly's campus. You can check out artobispo.org if you're interested. More than 200 ballroom dancers from California, Utah, and Arizona are coming right here to Cal Poly's campus this weekend to compete in the 7th annual Mustang Ball. Hosted by the Cal Poly Ballroom Club, the Mustang Ball is now one of the largest annual dance competitions in the country. Not only are Cal Poly students hosting the event, well, they are also competing in it. This year's Cal Poly Ball Club president says they will have more competitors than ever before.
A ton of people coming in general. Like, we've broken all our records this year by like 50% increases in attendance, so that's really exciting. It's really nerve-wracking, but really exciting.
Dance styles include salsa, cha-cha, tango, and waltz, among many others. The event is this Saturday, and it is free to attend with your Cal Poly ID. If you're interested, well, you can find out more at calpolyballroom.org. That's about it for your Pollywood Minute. A lot of fun stuff going on this weekend, a lot of fun events. So a lot of options, especially if you want to get a Valentine. That ASI Data Mustang is probably a good idea. Well, that's it. Thanks. Back to you, David and Lisa.
Yeah, a lot going on in the entertainment world as well as the sports world. Looks like we can do a double header on Saturday. Alumni baseball game and then women's basketball game. They want to stay atop the Big West, which is definitely exciting.
All right, I'm definitely going to check out that speed dating thing. I think seems like fun.
I'll go to the game, you go to speed dating?
For sure.
All right, well, thank you for watching our 30-minute broadcast of Mustang News.
For continuous broadcast coverage, visit mustangnews.net.
From all of us here in Studio 300, have a great day.